Okay, hello everyone, this is Charles, and we're here in a digital endurance series, Group 3 series 24 hours of the Nürburgring, and we are in the sixth, the penultimate stint, and the race is going to start within the next minute. I hope you slept out well, because I didn't. I stood up at 3 to drive Stint 5, now doing a triple header, streaming this. And then rounding it up with the final stint. So it's 9 past. We are going to start the race. Hi, Mr. Gaming. Hi, Sommer. Okay, everyone is lined up, all 11 cars. Freezy for DLL is leading ahead of Super GT, both in the McLaren. And Stint 6 is now underway. Freezy leads Super GT already in slipstream. Then we have Milano in the Mercedes looking for the inside. Freezy survives the first corner. Then everyone gets through nicely. Eric's round the outside here on Paul. RTO Nausar in 7th position, holds the position. Flash and Force Rules side by side, but they look after each other. So well done. Confi is in last position. He stayed, he started in that position and is cautious at the beginning. Then in the meantime, Super GT already with the passing move on Freezy here. He seems to be fired up from the get-go. Freezy under a lot of pressure from the Mercedes-Benz here, looking on the inside. But Freezy seems to have it covered this time around. Milano sacrificing the entry, now gets a better run down the hill. The back straight is an overtaking opportunity. The slipstream can be quite effective, although the Mercedes doesn't have the best top speed. Yeah, flashing the lights is okay if you do it occasionally. If you overdo it, that's considered unsportsmanlike, so he wants to have that in mind. So Freezy survived the GP layout, but Milano will wait for his opportunities. Amnael in 4th position. Then we have Ben MK, who's now changed his name to RX MK. Truly in the spirit of the league. Yeah, looking left, right and center, but doesn't find a way past in this section. Paul waiting behind there. Then we have a small gap. Oh, Nara's getting really sideways there. Having Flash behind, Force Rules. Confi made up 1 position, but also has a time penalty of half a second. And then we have Gas in the 11th position. So Super GT leading, got a bit sideways through Flugplatz, but managed to hold it. And now we see Freezy holds 2nd position, and Milano's not able to close the gap despite the slipstream. Shows how much straight line speed that McLaren has and how much this Mercedes lacks top speed. Rather frustrating situation, I think. So then we have Paul and Amnael, everything really close together, obviously, in this first lap. As you already know from previous stints, passing on the Nordschleife area is really difficult. The track is really narrow, has a lot of corners, but if you drive in the middle you can cover it fairly easily. Okay, gaming, have fun. So you usually have a good chance round Flugplatz before or after that. Now we are approaching the Kurve area soon, where is long flat out section as well, where one can make a move. Okay, yeah, see you around. And obviously the best overtaking opportunity on the Nordschleife is the Döttinghöhe at the very end of the track. So usually drivers tend to be a bit more cautious, but like Freezy doing a mistake that invites drivers. Paul is all over the back of the McLaren. Oh no, Freezy spun, is facing the wrong way. Hope everyone is aware of that. He has to let everyone pass. 9th, 10th, now he can go. Okay. Okay, reverse, yeah. Okay, really unfortunate, lost all the positions, and that's a time loss, but luckily no damage to the car, so he can continue with his race and his strategy. Paul, Amneil, dann Naras. Really close together, Kurve, and now it goes to Steilstrecke. The original Steilstrecke is straight up, not in this game, it's not rendered unfortunately. Now carousel, I guess the most single famous corner on the Nordschleife. Arnel has to look really a lot in his rear wheel mirrors, as Naras appears to be quicker in this section, pushing the BMW. And we're going a bit further through the field. Ben leading, Flash leading Force Rules. And they are all waiting for the long back straight. It's easy to make an overtake opportunity there happen. But there was quite a lot of... Oh, come on, Nars, you can't go back on track like this. It was really close. I was seeing that Nars was a bit on the grass turning into Flansgarten 1, and he almost lost the car there. Fortunately, there was some what's the word? There was gravel, not grass, that had the accelerating the car even better. And so luckily nothing but a small time loss for him. So Paul looking to attack, closing in. As mentioned before, the Mercedes Evo doesn't have the best top speed. It is stronger in the corners in comparison to its counterpart, the 2016 original base model. And so Paul has no big problems getting that position. Now going a bit behind Amneil, still leading. Flash looking on the inside. Ben looking to find that position as well. Yeah, nothing that Amneil can really do. Lost 2 position down the straight. Looking to Freezy in a moment, as Ben is looking to get that P4 off Flash here, and it looks really successful. Has the inside line, now not braking. Goes a bit deep, but that's not too big of a problem. Covers the inside line nicely. Flash has nowhere really to go. And then we jumped through the field once more. Nares found the connection. Confi in 9th position made 2 positions up, and Mr. Freezy now in the pit lane with damage. So somewhere during this lap I had another off time, because at Bergwerk he spun the car but got around nicely without any damage. Yeah, definitely that's a hard reset. That team is leading, by the way, and now they're in last position at the end of lap 1, and he's already a minute behind, so that's tough to take here. Super GT flying away, about 7 seconds already leading, pushing everything out of the car. Then we have Paul. Milano apparently quick, but doesn't found a round and has a half-second time penalty. Usually that can happen 2 spots. The fast-flowing chicane we just saw, or the exit of the Schumacher race, if you're a bit too much on the outside. Yeah, it can happen quite easily that you pick up that time penalty, which is double frustrating because touching the gravel not only makes you slower but also makes your tire so it hurts you in multiple ways. Whoa, Ben here with being sideways again, throwing that Mazda around. Yeah, it's crucial to get the gap, opening the gap here in this part, because when you have a quicker car behind in a straight line, and that car gets a hunch of slipstream, that's done. The car easily grabs that and overtakes you. Goes a bit wide here at Schwedenkreuz, and wide too here on Armberg as well. Post rules also with a half-second time penalty. Navar's 7th position. And yeah, Super GT, the leader of the race, has lost connection. We're in lap 2. Usually a restart only happens if something happened in lap 1. Checking Discord for the moment if I see anything pop up. Don't see anything. Oh, there are many messages here, but none of that driver. So yeah, I guess we continue. And yeah, looking through the... Oh, now he rejoined. Give me a moment. just checked the rulebook, so unfortunately for him, no restart is possible. Just wanted to be sure of that. Okay, sorry, I wanted to go through the field. Paul inherited the lead and extended that lead actually. It was about a second at the beginning of the lap. Now it's 4 seconds, so he's opening the gap. Milano still holding on to that half-second time penalty. The only the only penalty area that we have is on the Nürburgring. Quite ironic that we only have one possible penalty zone at the very end of the lap, so it is practically impossible to get a time penalty on the Nordschleife. You carry that penalty around with you for almost 20 kilometers. Ben in 3rd position. .11 behind. And about 3 of Amnail, who has Force Rules immediately behind him. Force Rules with half a second time penalty himself. Maybe that opened up an opportunity for P6 Naras. So half a second time penalty is usually around a second. But here you have such a long straight that's more like 1.5 to 2 seconds, and then the slipstream comes into play. Now he has to burn the penalty. So does Milano, by the way, as well. But Ben's gap was big enough. Hello Alex, welcome to the stream. We are in the 6th of 7 stints, so pretty much at the end already of the whole 24-hour event, and unfortunately we lost the leader from Feel Good Racing earlier this lap. But we have to continue. Force Rules is under pressure. The gap is half a second. And turn 1 is a good overtaking opportunity. We have a hard braking zone coming up, and you can send it down the inside. But Nars stays cautious. And usually I think that's a good thing in these kinds of races, to be rather cautious than aggressive. The main goal is always bring the car home, and we have 2 drivers in the pit lane for an unscheduled pit stop. Confi, you see front and right, and Flash only front. Both having front damage, that's really unusual. I'm not sure how this happened. Who's leaving the pits earlier? It's Flash. So Mr. Freezy got back into 8th position, thanks to that. And now we have Confi in last position again, unfortunately. That's a very lovely sound of that car, I think. Yeah. Both took new soft tires and refueled the car to the max. Then we have Mr. Freezy. And that's a bit interesting how fuel comes into play. So we have gas in 7th position with more than half, and then we have Naras with half. So that speaks for 4 laps for Stint for both. Force Rules with a bit more fuel. But oh, there was a hefty impact sound. Here it was Hamnail. I think Hoheneichen is the name of that section, and apparently he lost the car. I'm not sure, we only heard it, but he has front damage now. That will slow down the car by some kph easily, so maybe Nars has a free pass on his hands here. Isn't quite close enough at this stage. No, not this time around, but he's closing in, and he definitely should look for a passing move. Because he has a time penalty on the Döttinger Höhe, he will lose a lot of momentum, and he can drive away with that damage Amneil has and hold that position. Otherwise, if he stays behind and Amneil decides to stay out for one more lap because it helps with his strategy, then that could become really costly, because as you can see, Force Rules is about 2.5 seconds already ahead, and this number is only going to increase. Crazy Flash and then Confi. Oh no, Confi has damage again, plus a half-second time penalty, so it's not running smooth for this Toyota Supra RC team. Unfortunately, nothing goes for them, and yeah, likely that Confi has to visit the pits one more time. Unfortunately, we missed where that happened, but yeah, 15 kilometers at least is the amount Confi has to do with this damage before we can visit pits. For the sister team, it looks a lot better. P1, they increased the gap to 8 seconds. Paul with 8 minute 02, 0. That's already an incredible quick lap time. I think we had 1 minute, 8 minutes once in Stint 1 or Stint 2, so it was really a strong lap time. I'm not sure if during the night we had quicker lap times. But personally, I mostly did lap times around 8:10 with fuel saving, and managed to do 8:04 high, so let's round it up to 8:05. I was really happy with that lap time, and he's doing 3 seconds quicker. That's crazy. Milano in that beautiful Mercedes, really like the car, plus the livery, but losing momentum here. 8:09 is a decent lap time, but still. The gap opens up now to almost 10 seconds, so really challenging to come back from that on your own. But as we know and already saw, Nordschleife is such a difficult track to negotiate, and a mistake can happen fairly easy. Through Wippermann, and now upcoming Brünnchen. I don't know, it was already Brünnchen. That's the famous YouTube corner and ice corner here. Scarlet Racer, good morning to you as well. Hope you all rested well and you're in for some fun racing. Force Rules opened the gap to 6 seconds now, and Amneil still holding on with that damage, holding the place again Nars. So you can be proud of that. That is quite an achievement. Breakfast in the S is best combo. Yeah, I have to look. Maybe I leave you alone for 5 or 10 minutes to grab something myself. Otherwise, I won't have anything to eat until 2 p.m. I'm not too fond of that. Oh no, Nars. The gap opened up, I saw that, and now he has damage as well. So all 3 DLL cars within 3 laps managed to damage their cars. That's wonderful. Great job, guys. Gas takes that position thanks to the penalty, and the damage it is doing the rest of that. Now is looking for some slipstream, but yeah, doesn't have the momentum. Has to pit anyway now, and will lose a lot of time in the pit lane now. Freezy in 8th position, Flash, and then we have Confi. A lot of curb there, despite the damage. He is quite pushing the car. So Paul with 11 seconds. The last lap was an 8:03. That's crazy quick. Milano in 2nd position with an 8:07. I allowed to round that up. 8:07 is a strong lap time, but unfortunately for them, not enough. Ben, and we're 4th position. I'm not sure if we have any battle going on at the moment. I think not, so we go to Narash. Refueling car, now the reparations, and out he goes. Just behind Flash, it seems. So we have DLL on 9, 8 and 7. 3 cars. Almost in the bottom 3. And then we have GTF in 6, 5 and 4. Managed much better than DLL. And here it is, Amnail continuing with the damage. Last lap was an 8:17. Yeah, that's somewhat 5 or 10 seconds slower than his usual pace, give or take. Quite early to judge that. But you really want to stay schedule, not to have an additional pit stop, and that could cost you 40-50 seconds. So you take that 10-15 seconds, whatever that is now. Where is Confi? Confi stayed out despite the damages. Let's hop on board on that old school Supra. Steering wheel for us on the wrong side. I'm not sure in which camera perspective Confi is driving. I think, yeah, obviously you can get used to that, but personally I think that's really hard, challenging thing to get used to. Also, we can see the hand sleeping the steering wheel all the times. The gearbox in the center, not the steering pedals on the wheel. So really an old school proper car. 6th gear, now down to 5th, 4th, and he holds it. I thought he would go into 3rd. Really beautiful car. The sister car, very similar design. You can have a look into it. That's Subaru also. Steering wheel right, not the left side. And turns out, really competitive car on this track. Our team is driving it as well, and especially Octavian was very vocal about how satisfied he is with the car. Apparently not only a good top speed and decent corner speed, but also manageable with fuel, so you can go 5 laps. And Paul is increasing the gap further and further to Milano, but I think we will see him in the pit at the end of this lap. If we look at the front left tire, that is quite worn, and I'm not sure if a 5th lap on that tire will be the best idea. Then we have Milano. Better tire wear, but yeah, even less fuel, so we will see him in the pit lane as well. Different situation here with RX. The tires are quite worn as well, but the fuel is a bit better, so maybe we see Ben doing 5th lap. He's 3 seconds ahead of Force Rules. I think he is going to be in the pit lane in this lap as well. Amnail in 5th position, still holding off the damage. Here Gas being behind 2 seconds. That's right on board in that Corvette. The fuel is already blinking red, so less than 10% in the Corvette left. Quite thirsty, I say. Some drivers go for 5 laps and he hardly can go 4 laps apparently, so well, there was a lot of curb here at Boa 8, now Hedwigshöhe. Willkommen. Quite downhill now, hard up again, and then Brünchen. In real life it's so much more steeper, it hardly looks like a downhill section compared to how steep that is in real life. If you look at this corner combination, if you're on a Nürburgring, it looks like you would stare into a wall, like a waterfall. It is so steep, it is ridiculous. Anyway, Gas is losing some time. Amnail somehow managed to increase the gap despite being slowed down by damage. And Freezy follows half a minute already behind. Then we have Flash. And Narash. Confi only 14 seconds behind. I'm not sure when he is going to pit again. He's a bit out of sync. He was in the pit lane at the end of lap 2. And yeah, about 20 laps to go then. So every 5 laps or every 4 laps will work for him. Jump to the leader, Paul, and I think we can catch the pit entrance of Milano. So it is. And where's Ben? Is he going to stay out? Drifting the car through the last chicane. Yes, Ben is staying out, taking over the lead of the race. P1 for him, Force Rules also in the pit. Amna will follow him in any moment. And Paul refueling 3/4 full. How much will that car take? I would say around 90 liters. Comes out in 2nd position. I think now everyone was in the pit lane except Ben in P1. Amnail, where's now Milano here? That's P3. Refueled the car 100 liters, so the gap increased during the pit phase as he took more fuel into the car. Force Rules also back on track after his first 4 laps. Has Mr. Freezy behind him, who managed to jump quite some few cars after he had to pit in lap 1. Also impressive first sector, if that's true. Oh no! No! Ah, come on! Way too eager. Lost the car on the exit of 4th corner. Spun on the inside. And Nara's Confi now in the pit lane. Where is... Hi Kevin. Nara's in P9. We have gas. Amnair. Freezy. Flash. Yeah, okay. So DLL managed to survive lap 4 without having any damage on one of the cars. Unfortunately, this is only lap 4, and lap 5 we can't reproduce that. Good job, guys. So Confi is finally back on track. Kevin, for your information, Confi really a troublesome start. Had to pit in lap 2, continued lap 3, but having damage, and now at the end of lap 4 came into the pits once more, and it's 2 minutes behind, almost a minute behind the next car. So it's going to be a long race for Confi, I fear. Ben is leading the race. He has not pitted yet. He's on a different strategy, going for 5 laps here. Paul, I think the gap was about 17 seconds now. It's has come down to 12 seconds. If we look at the tire situation, I think that's quite apparent why that happens. Jumping on board with Ben. Metzgesfeld, quick corner, but you have to be wary of the track limits. If you overshoot it just a bit, there's no coming back and you hit a wall. Now approaching famous miss, hit, miss. Corner has the name because you tend to miss the first apex, hit the second and then run wide. Not the best showcase of that corner in this run. There's Ivan, slowest corner on the Nordschleife. It's quite downhill, so the car doesn't want to steer. It's understeered. The weight is all on the front. Braking isn't as effective, and you have to bring the car around and accelerate, and that's quite a delicate task to do, especially in this 5th lap as tires are pretty much worn. Not to lose traction, the next corner is right there and the traction curves around. Ben struggling with the car, doing Bergwerk. Now can rest for a moment. This part is all uphill. Approaching Klostertal. Okay, Skylark Racer, have a good sleep. Maybe see you again for Stint 7. Move corner. Bit cautious on this run. That jump with Paul. Fresh tires and all the grip in the world, that's a lot quicker, and he's getting some tenths of Ben. Freezy, after he had to pit in lap 1, he can pit now again. I think, given the remaining fuel, he wanted to go for 5 lappers, so do one more lap after this. Now he has to pit anyway. I think it doesn't make sense, even if he has enough fuel to continue with that damage. Amnail in 7th position, gas 4 seconds behind, but I think Amnail is a bit quicker. Yes, Nars behind. That's a half-second time penalty. And Confi with a gap of 1 minute, so something happened to Confi in this lap as well, because the gap used to be 52 seconds down on the GP track on the Goodyear corner, it's now called. It used to be called the Dunlop Kehre, now it's not Dunlop, it's Goodyear. So Confi lost around 8 seconds in 5 minutes, so something most likely happened to him. On front, Ben is bringing the car into the pit lane now. 3% fuel, that will work just fine. And that just shows how quick Paul is, but also how the tire situation is. The gap used to be, I think, 17 seconds. That's about 10 seconds less now when Ben came in the pit lane. Now I'm curious to see where he comes out. Paul obviously will take the lead. Then we have Milano, who's a long way back and should get that position as well. Force rules could be very tight. And Flash 5 seconds behind that hopes. Ben will hope that he will come ahead out of these, but he has to refuel more if he will go for another 5-lapper. Milano now pass. Here we have forced rules. He will jump Ben as well, now in 3rd position. And here we have Ben now exiting, but Flash is on his outside. And ahead, just ahead, they're going side by side through the first 2 corners. Jumping on board with better tires. He accelerates. Yeah, you got him. You already got him. So either Ben had a really bad exit or just decided to not fight that, which is, to be honest, the better situation for both drivers. Flash with more worn tires, he pitted in lap 2, so his tires are a bit older at this point, and he hasn't been in his rear view mirror pushing and making nervous, and Ben himself is not losing time, and I think just more elegant outcome for both. Can take a bit of slipstream. Okay, then let's go through the field. We have Amnail, Gas with a steady gap. Now drifting up the Schumacher in 8th position, has Freezy behind, who had to pit again now with an attacked car. Let's wait for how long DLL can hold that. and after Freeze's pit stop, Conti has come closer again. Only 30 seconds to the next car, but still a long way. Last lap, 8 minute 41. Yeah, best lap was the very first lap, to be honest, 8:21, and you aim for lap times that are that starts with 0 after the 8. At least a low 8 minute 10s. Hopefully now he gets Lady Luck back on his side and gets some clean laps, so he can fight back. Done with the GP layout, now on the Nordschleife. Going to Paul and have a look if he can set a new fastest lap. He's 0.4 up his personal best, so he needs to do something. On the other hand, he has a bit less fuel, so there's always the option that he can improve the second part. Especially after Hohe Acht, it is one corner after another. There's basically no straight part. Just preparing the car from one exit to the another entry. And having less fuel obviously is a great benefit. So maybe we can witness a new fastest lap of the race. Next split coming up is pretty static. Braking zone. Schaltstrecke, accelerating early. Can hold the car in third gear, doesn't have to use second gear. Now car shoulder, carousel. Really high, takes a lot of momentum through there, but holds the car, that's the most important part. You really need that banking. It's not tarmac, it's beton. What's the word? It's concrete, so it has less grip, but with the banking, it's a fast way around, and using the tarmac on the higher side is just not bringing it. You will lose multiple seconds there. So obviously, will not see any overtake. If you get overtaken in a carousel in fair conditions, you being on the inside and another car with the same strength as your car is overtaking you around the outside, you should consider quitting racing, obviously. Yeah, Paul had a moment a few corners before. Flansgarten 9, a small jump, now approaching Flansgarten 2, and this part the car can get very light as well, momentarily losing the ground with the front wheel tires, so it's always a part you have to be a bit cautious or be aware of. It can go wrong quite easily, and it's, as your front wheels are in the air, you cannot steer. It is also almost impossible to react and save that. Yeah, 802 is really impressive. Paul is overdriving the car a bit, touching the grass on the inside again on Galgenkopf. Yep, this time will be a bit slower, so a bit slower means 803, which is still out of the world for most, and definitely for me. Billstein Bridge. And he found some momentum on the straight, so maybe he wasn't even full pushing on his fastest attempt. don't think it was perfect, but definitely a high 2 or 3 time. Yeah, 802.3. Flying away, already having half a minute advantage over Milano, who's now approaching the final corners. Very important braking zone. You have reached the highest speed of somewhat between 270 and 280 kph, and you bring it all down. It's important to be cautious here, because if you outbrake yourself, in worst case you lose just a lot of momentum for the start-finish straight. In worst case, you're hitting the barriers, and you have to visit the pits after that. So P3, 4 and 5 really close together. I think we stay on this for a moment. Yeah, Paul Grabber, yeah, you just saw him entering the second part on the track. Already behind the Schumacher S. Now on the back straight, the Bitbogen, and then Vidol chicane. He's basically on the Nordschleife layout before. These guys are halfway through the GP layout. Force rules. Being purple at the moment. Through the Schumacher S. We have Ben in the background. Should have the better tires, but also more weight, so that evens out. But Ben's strategy is obviously a bit different. He's going longer. Either the other drivers doing 5 lappers as well, and I have to lose that time. Ben is investing in that strategy at a later point, or all the other drivers are going to do one more stop. Yeah, everyone driving for their lives. Impression I got from my stint and from what I heard, some drivers are quite fierce with each other. They are very hard on each other in battles, so it's quite aggressive. In last stint, Johnny and I for DLL drove together, and we said, okay, just let them go. It's not worth fighting. So maybe lose a second there, but then you can drive freely, and it's just overall better for the end time. Hi Katie, yeah. Hope you enjoy the second part of the RL Nürburgring NLS race. I was there yesterday with the Red Bull Formula Nürburgring. I was heavily disappointed in the format. The amount or time the car ran and how it was communicated, or better saying miscommunicated. I was really disappointed in that. And then I saw the first, I think 3.5 hours of the first 6-hour race on Saturday. There was really great. It's always great to be there, obviously, but the race was fun as well. The car sounds amazing. So I hope you enjoy, and yeah, watch the IRL race. But if you can, have a look at us, how we are doing, and have a great day. Paul, yeah, one moment. Paul is in the lead, 32 ahead. There's no other way to describe. He's really flying. The slowest lap he did was an 8:03. All other laps were in laps or out laps, and obviously the first lap is slow as well. Really quite impressive. Yeah, nice, Mr. Gaming. I was at the 24-hour Nürburgring race in May as well. Really enjoyed that, and yeah, have to look. But if possible, would like to attend next year's race as well. So strategy-wise, I think Paul is only on 4 laps so far. Milano quite heavy on fuel. I think 4 laps is what he can do with that Mercedes as well. I don't see him doing a 5th lap. Then this battle now finally materializes. Ben, who did a 5-lapper, is now on better tires, a bit more fuel, but has the better pace on his side, and he's pushing force rules up the carousel. Yeah, yes, sounds great. Sounds really great. Okay. Yeah, I'm really sorry for you. You did start amazing, and Paul obviously quit, but you had the gap already on 6 or more seconds. Cedars, I'm not sure about the total gaps. You can always look in our Discord there. It's pinged in race info. If you're not on the Discord, I'm not sure. You can use ! Discord and you get the link. Gaps. Okay, yeah, we can go through the gaps in a moment. I just want to caught Ben attacking here for the podium. Force rules. Is defending at the moment, but I think in a minute's time on the this will change as Ben goes wide. I think. Oh, he caught it. That was brilliant. A brilliant save from Ben. I think on second Pflanzgarten, the front wheel tires lost connection to the ground. Oh, that was very aggressive as well. And he couldn't steer, and that made the angle he had for the next corner impossible. And through the Stefan Belov as he had to go wide, somehow caught the car. It was really impressive. But after all that, he lost, unfortunately, all the momentum, and the gap rose to 2 seconds. So let's go through the field for Cedar. We have Paul in the lead with his slowest lap of 8:04. That's my best lap time. That's his slowest. Yeah, leading and should go into the pit lane in this lap. 33 behind, we have Milano with a strong pace, to be fair, but Paul is just crazy flying at the moment. And 50 after Paul, we have Force Rules, who's going to pit in lap 8. So in this lap, he just begun that lap, and we have Ben. He's going for 2 more laps. I think we will see him in the pit lane at the end of lap 10. Flash with a scheduled pit stop. That was on the dot, no fuel left in the car, but he's now in the pit lane, so that's all good. Amnail is taking that 5th position with a gap of 1 minute 10 for GTF. And we have gas in the pit lane as well. That's apparently scheduled as well. I don't see any damage on the car, so apparently scheduled. And we have DLL with Mr. Freezy. Confi is in 9th place because NASA was in the pit. had a horrible lap. That was 9 minute 18 and he's now 3.5 minutes behind. Why am I even going to drive the next stint, to be honest? Honestly. Why am I even doing that to myself? It's going to be 3 hours of my life I'm not going back. That has no value to me, because one driver is not practicing at all and figures out that he doesn't like the car on race day. The other is choking and goes away. When it's not going his way, we're having a planned reserve driver. It was again damage. The third time damage in 7th laps, so well done. Really well done. And we have, I don't know, it feels like half an hour being behind. Boy. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm not sure, Super GG. I heard that another team had to disconnect and is apparently 8 minutes, so 8 minutes for you. I don't think victory will be completely out of the window, and podium most likely as well. Yeah, thanks for warm words, gaming, but yeah, I can't find anything positive in that right now. Yeah, I'm really happy with my stint. I wasn't going as quick as I would like. I needed a lot of time to get into the rhythm, but after that it was quick, and I couldn't have done much better. Maybe half a minute if everything worked out with traffic, etc. But then you have something like this, and after 1 hour you're being 4 minutes behind. If you add that up and I continue like this, we're being 12 minutes behind in one stint. Yeah, I think I have to overthink some decisions here, because that's not working out for me. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel right now. 5 hours of the last 7 hours. 30 minutes behind, yeah. Yeah, Mr. Game. I think I explained something. In DLL we have a running joke about Oettinger, a German beer brand. I think that is more common in the north, but Oettinger has the reputation of being a beer essentially for homeless people and being really, really low quality. So we took that kind of a meme, and some people really like to drink energy drinks, and instead of saying the brand name, they just somehow it happened that they say now it's time for an Oettinger. They're drinking energy, but it's just a meme. And within DLL, we also say it's not the Döttinger Höhe, the long 2 kilometer back straight. It's the Oettinger Höhe, just for the memes. Yeah, but gaming. I'm not sure if I know any beers from Baden-Württemberg. I think I should keep my mouth shut, because I'm near Cologne and everyone is saying that Kölsch, the beer, is tasting like piss. For homeless people. Yeah, I don't know. Is there a better way to describe it? I think it might be not a beautiful description, but it's an accurate description. Yeah, oh god, Kölsch, yeah. To be honest, I'm not much of a beer drinker anyway. Maybe because we have Kölsch here and it's not something proper. But just one funny side story before we go back to the race. Even though the Cologne people are aware that their beer isn't great or isn't has no high reputation, they're letting nothing good happen on the beer from a different city that is forbidden to name, which they serve Alt beer, which literally translates to old beer. And even though Kölsch might not be great, that's the very, very worst. People without a mail address. I'm not sure if that's accurate though, but you get the spirit. So Paul is in the pit lane, 33 seconds is the advantage. Let's see where Milano's under the Bildstein bridge. Now Paul getting tire change, refueling. Paul almost out of the pit lane when Milano is entering the pit lane. Force rules going to the pits as well now, and Ben is going to stay out. And Paul, that's impressive. Paul is already back on track, and Ben is still behind. By 10 seconds. Looking good for Ben that he can continue for 2 more laps before having to pit again. Had a personal best, 2:8:08, so that's consistent. Good effort. Milano rejoins in 3rd place, had to give up the 2nd position because Ben wasn't in pit as well. So that will be interesting because Milano will pit in lap 12 again and Ben in lap 10, and after that there will be 15 and 16, and then Milano will have one more stop and Ben should be ahead by the strategy. Also again, Milano reviewed the car completely, so that Benz in Milano's hand is quite thirsty. Force rules in 4th position, 50 seconds behind Paul. Flash. Freezy lost some time to Flash. Was on his outlap, yeah, of course, better tires, but an 8:08 from Freezy and an 8:09 before that are good lap times. That, yeah, honestly, I'm okay with that. Yeah, but it's already more than a minute of a gap after an hour, so that sucks. Amnail P7 1:21, 8:08 was his best lap time. Having gas still really close to each other. They are, I think, for 4 or 5 laps within 5 seconds. Just checking on comments again. Yep. Mostly German dudes here, or German-speaking dudes, but the series is international. We have not only drivers, but also whole teams that are from non-speaking German countries. So I think for 2 years now we have switched from doing that in German and doing that all in English. So you have to live with my bad English with a very bad German accent. I hope that was horrible enough for you. Conti is doing a good job, has to be said. Really a tough start for him, but he had some good lap times. He pitted last in lap 5. The outlap was good, and then 8.11, 8.11, and then an 8.12 on 3 laps old tires, or I think the 4th lap. Doing good progress coming back. Nash is doing something. After having 2 laps with 9 minutes, he's at least back into the 8 minutes. Well, not the 8 minute O's or 8 minute 10s, but an 8 minute 22. Paul already middle on the Nordschleife. He's approaching Mood Corner. Flipsy, thank you for the comment. I'm pretty sure the German national football team is quite good. They are 4 times world champions, so they must be good, right? 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 For sure. Anyway, Paul leading by 20 seconds. Here we have Ben approaching Mood Corner. You can see Ben is really struggling with the tires already. He has to survive for 1 more lap. Most likely you're going 22 or 23 laps, so you want to have some 5 lappers in there to save some stop. Günzi, thank you for the question. Formula Nürburgring, the Red Bull thing was horrible, to be honest. First of all, the advertisement was, in my opinion, just plain wrong. You were aware that they were centered at the Mühlenbachschleife, that's the area around the Ford corner, the Goodyear Kehre and Schumacher S. But it was said that they are going to do runs on the Nordschleife as well. And what they did, the Ferrari of Berger didn't do a lap because there were problems with the car. The V10 Williams BMW of Ralf Schumacher did laps only on the Mühlenbachschleife, not on the Nordschleife and not on the GP layout. And then you had the Niki Lauda car, you had and the 2 Red Bulls of 2011 and 12 doing also one other car. Anyway, every car did 1 lap on the GP layout plus Nordschleife. So essentially this configuration with the AMG arena as well. So basically the very full course. Just 1 lap, not together in a group. No, all cars were sent out one after another. So you had 1 car going out. Then you had to wait until the car came back to the Mühlenbachschleife. Then you would have some waiting time for their promoter, for their showbiz shit no one was interested in. And then they would send out the next car. So you might think, oh, come on, Charles, that's not that bad. You can hear the car They were pushing. They were going, even though it was just one lap. And you might remember that Red Bull forbid Max Verstappen to run because they said, "Oh, you might want to go too quick. We don't want to risk him. He cannot drive." He could easily have driven because they sent out a safety car before and behind the Formula car. So the Formula car was set to a given speed, a given pace, and couldn't even run freely. So you had cars you couldn't even see. You have cars that they were doing one lap, only one lap, with a safety car, not even full pace, and that was stretched out over 4.5 hours. Only Vettel and Coulthard in the 11 and 12 Red Bulls were allowed to do a second lap. Not a consecutive lap, so they did their one lap, waited for half an hour, and then they did another lap again. Honestly, it was a scam. Honestly, I think it was a scam. Yeah, if it would have been broadcasted, yeah. I was lucky enough to see Gerhard Berger's Ferrari. For some, I don't understand how. They started on the GP layout, drove the Nürburgring, and then after the Schumacher S, there's an option to use an escape road to go back to what is turn 3 now, so they can do a small lap there. And for some reason, Berger was approaching on the straight after turn 2 the wrong way, was driving the AMG arena the wrong way, was facing here the first corner, and then just stalled the car. He was thinking, "Oh, I'm going the wrong way," apparently. So yeah, let that sink in. A Formula 1 driver, an experienced Formula 1 driver, went the wrong way on the track, then stalled the car. Yeah, that was everything we saw of that Ferrari. So if you were at the Nordschleife and you wanted to see the cars, you would have to wait from 10 o'clock to 13 o'clock to see one car in 3 hours. And then you had the 2 Red Bull drivers coming by twice in the last 1.5 hours. It was pretty much a scam. Yeah. Here we are with Confi. He has damage. I shouldn't have said how good he was doing. Had an 8.17 last lap round. There's a P with that. Did he have a penalty? Because that cannot be an in or out lap. This should be his in lap to pitting. He's behind Mr. Freezy. Mr. Freezy was in the pit. Tank is full, tires are fresh. So Confi giving tire situation and also the damage should lose some ground here. Freezy should be able to drive away quite easily. Important for him is to get through this lap without losing too much time. Then he has to pit. It will be 10 laps done, so it's 12 laps at best for him to go. So he can go with 4 lap stints. Nice Slimmy. So strategy-wise, I think that's a good moment in time to come in. Paul extended his lead to 30 seconds again. Here we have Ben. Yeah, you can see the tires there. They are gone, and oh, nice drift. Almost lost it on the curb. Exmühle is really steep. on entry, but then flattens up. So the weight of the car goes a bit more to the front. Plus you're accelerating, so the rear slider is really easy to lose that. Was there any rain? No, there wasn't any rain, and also in this stint wasn't any rain. There is always the potential for rain. It is enabled. It can rain. The chance is slim, we know that, but it is a possibility. Honestly, I wouldn't mind some rain. Would make things a lot more interesting for us. Ben is fighting, not only with his car. Bunse did the 8-minute mark get beaten already? Not that I know of. I wasn't watching all stints, and oh no! He touched the wall, but all good. But I think the 8-minute mark didn't. Yeah, Clips confirmed. Get beaten. We had an 8:01 something at least, but nothing below 8. So Ben is fighting with his car, with himself a bit, and Milano for the long run. He's 29 seconds ahead of Force Rules, and I think he will be beaten with the strategy, and Milano will be tough cookie to crack. But Ben can also do that with the strategy. I'm not sure what the strategy is going to be for these guys, continuing with 4-lap stints and just living with having to stop one more time, or changing the approach and going for 5-lappers as well. I really don't see that happen for Milano. He used everything the fuel tank has to offer every time and just reached the pit lane with not much left, so I don't think that he can go on a 5-lapper. It will require huge fuel saving, and I think with this driving style and car combination, he's better off doing more stuff. Quickly go to Paul. The lap time is an 8:04.5. So not reaching the lap times he did before anymore, but he's still comfortably the quickest car on track. Ben has virtually nothing left on his front left tire. And I think he's very happy to see the pit lane now. We have Milano. We will easily get past him in the pits. Still a decent lap time. We have Force Rules, will jump Ben easily as well at this time. Flash 5 seconds behind, should jump him as well. So yeah, here we have him. It's a refueling. Flash now passed by. And then we have a gap of over a minute until we get to Amna, who has to pit again. He has damage. And if we look, that's the second lap, so quite early and a bit unscheduled. As I said, lap 10 isn't too bad because with 12 laps to go you can quite do that easily with 4 lappers. Strategy wise, that's okay. Now Ben in 5th position, 11 behind, but he has the best rubber, and the guys in front will struggle with their tires. Amnael didn't went into the pit lane, decided to stay out. I'm not sure why they think that's better. I think you should have pitted. Freezy 20 seconds behind. Then we have Confi and Gas. Gas also with quite a lot of damage. And Naras will pit at the end of this lap as well eventually. Here we have Confi. Refueling the car completely. Bit of repairs, and finally can go. Same for Gas. Those two are now really close together. See if Gas can hunt Comfy down. Fourth corner. That's a Nürburgring, by the way. While Naj has finally reached the pit lane. Goodyear Kehre. That corner on the gravel was some sort of showcase of the car, by the way. For a Red Bull Nürburgring thing. Yeah, Steve, I hope they do. Back straight off the GP layout. Bedul chicane. Around 50 meters braking point and very quick change. You could see it around 170 kph. Turn 13. Really up and downhill. Uphill on entry, traction is difficult, and then downhill you hardly get the car slowed down and turn in at the same time. You have to be cautious. The S corners here, one corner after another. Confi got a bit wide here, but so does Gas. He was able to catch that. That was quite a moment he had. Went onto the curb. The curb is quite high, and then I think too much throttle, lost traction. And a bit of momentum here. Confi is now 3 ahead. So if we take a look through the field again, Confi in P8, a minute behind Mr. Freezy. And Amnael continues with the damage. Half a lap ago the gap was 21 seconds, now it's 4 seconds less, so presumably the gap will come down 4 seconds to 13 seconds at the end of the lap. Ben with good pace already caught Flash by a second in this lap. And yeah, those guys are in the 3rd lap of their stint. I'm not sure if Flash is even in the 4th lap, but those, the first 3 are definitely in the 3rd lap. So the tire wear is starting to kick in. Around this point the cars become less nimble, the weight transfer feels longer, everything takes a bit more, and you cannot reproduce the time you had done in lap 1 and 2. Turn 3, lap 3 is quite the same as lap 2. You feel less weight in the car with the fuel, but the tires are going downhill already, so it's quite close. And lap 4, the tires definitely fall off a few seconds. Rules, I think it looked quite slow, but times says otherwise. Definitely had some troubles around Brünnchen. Flansgarten, no small jump. Good flash. You can see it for a brief moment. The car goes straight, and there's no opportunity to turn really. Oh no! Edge Schwalbenschwanz, Ben got wide. I think, well, at least for me personally, I think that challenging corner feels different to Gran Turismo Sport. It goes uphill, but the corner becomes narrow on exit and flattens up. So you want to have some sort of late apex, but you also have to be aware that the elevation changes and the weight gets shifted a bit more to the front. The rear gets lighter, and it's easier to spin the tires. Definitely corner, in my opinion, that is more challenging than it looks on the outside. Yeah. Unfortunately, Ben lost 3 seconds with that mistake. Flash continues for one more lap, so he will pit at the end of this lap. So 1 and 4 will be in. I'm curious if Amnail is staying out for one more lap. He could do so if he wants to. I think fuel-wise that should be 30%. Yeah, 31% is even shown. That will be possible. But I really would advise to pit with that damage. Freezy is now within 12 seconds, so the gap has come down quite a lot, and he's going to pit now. I think that's the right decision. Meantime, Confi managed to increase the gap slightly to gas. Not by much, after the mistake was about 3 seconds, but now it increased. It was about 4 seconds, you just saw it, and now it skyrocketed. As Ben, I think, at Schwalbenschwanz gas had a mistake, ran off the track, and also almost here at Galgenkopf did a similar thing. And is now, yeah, in a dire situation, just pitted, but with damage, maybe he should pit again. Amnel, at least, is now back on track. MP7 30 behind Mr. Freezy, and a minute to Confi. That will come down when Confi goes past pit lane. So with a bit of luck, with around halftime, Confi has the opportunity to get one more position here. It's not too far off. It was well over a minute at some place, and it was dead last. Mistakes from Gas and Naras helped him to get this position, but mostly driving steadily. And now being 30 seconds behind, he will see that, and that will give him some motivation, I hope. Freezy in 6th position. It looks quite impossible for him to improve that. Ben in 5th position, 45, 46 ahead. With a strategy that will definitely involve one pit stop less than he has, and then it's even further to the other Flash. It's almost a minute. I don't think there's any point in cheering him on. Obviously, it always goes for time, but position-wise, I think there's nothing more he can do. I think he was one time in the pit with damage, so that's around the gap. With the gap he has now to the drivers in front, he should be on a similar pace. So I don't think that gap should change too much, but obviously mistakes can always happen, and quite deadly around here. Oh, Ben with a nice drift. Miss hit miss, and he definitely missed staying on the track with all 4 wheels. He was on the grass with the left hand side, and was about to lose the car, or had lost the car, but caught it nice. I think Ben looked a bit more promising than it's looking now. Yeah, he is definitely playing a dangerous game with the car. Was sideways quite a bit, but had the talent to caught it. So it's going for him, but yes, eventually luck will run out, and again with that mistake the gap increased to Flash. It's now again 12 seconds, so as you can see, those dudes are going into the pit now. Their tires are worn. That's the slowest lap they will do, and Ben is not gaining any time. Hi, Plexus. Yeah, Flash had, I think, one-time damage. Can happen. Lap times even stronger than I do. And to be fair, also quicker than forced rules at the moment. So maybe there's one position more to gain. Always have to keep in mind what Ben is doing. He can save one full pit stop as forced rule. Runs wide after Brünnchen. Gap has come down a few tenths. So we will have Paul coming in soon. He has 50 seconds advantage. To visualize that, this is the end of Döttinger Höhe. And here we have second place Milano, not even on the straight. Bring the car in, and here we have Milano. In the background we can see P3 and P4. Milano leaving, cutting a rear through Antonius Bucher and into the pit lane. As he enters, Paul is leaving. Fresh set of tires. And not refueled to the fullest, so this will be another 4-lapper for him as well. Force rules. Flash. All in the pit lane, and now it's time for Ben to make up some position. Drifting again through the last corner. And again with that second place. Yeah, what Paul is doing is impressive, nevertheless. After that pit stop, the gap has shrunken to only 40 seconds, so 52 to Milano, who again had to refuel to the fullest. Force rules. Now back on track again. The gap 12 seconds has come down a bit as Force rules refueled 75 liter around that number, so it stood a bit shorter. Flash gap has increased, has refueled 100 liters, so that's why gap came up around 5-6 seconds again. And we have Mr. Freezy in 6th position bit, out of sync with the guys in front. My Confi doing good, holding the gap, closing down actually by a second or two. Let's see what this lap time is going to be. Oh, it was a lot of curb and even more grass. Definitely cut the track there. Apparently no penalty for the game. Should be alright, as this isn't the quickest track around the track anyway, and 8.14 is not the best conf you can do either. We saw he had times in the 11s. Gas, I spoke about the dilemma that he just pitted and already had damage, but now the damage even increased, not only front but also rear, but he continues nevertheless. What was that lap time? An 8.22. Yeah, that's still quite comfortably quicker than Naras, who has picked up damage again, and only one tire is damaged, so it's rather small damage. I think he's on controller. It looks quite uneven how he counter steers. I think with a wheel that can be done quite smoother. But yeah, most likely another damage repair job for the pit crew, bringing the gap up to 5 minutes. Let's see if he stays out or comes into the pit lane. Stays out. Okay. Paul is opening up the gap again, of course, given the different cycle they are in the race with pitting. One is really close to pitting, the other one just came out of the pits. Ben has 33% fuel left. I think that should be enough for 1.5 more laps, so he will pit at the end of lap 15, and it will be interesting if Milano can close the gap. 10 seconds down the road. Well, not now. I have 1 hour more to go. Maybe I'll grab myself a yogurt and be done in a minute or two, and then I hope lobby 7 will be open up in time, so I can do 1 or 2 laps practice and not having to jump in quite cold. To be honest, I wouldn't have minded to do this stint as well. It felt after 2.5 hours I was finally driven warm, so finally the rhythm took me long enough. I'm going a bit wide. Freistrecke. Yeah, I should patent that name, so no one else can use that. Yeah, midnight stint temps are quite a factor. That's also the reason why Johnny and I did our 5-lappers at the beginning of the stint, because it was somewhat dark, the sun was still rising, so the temperature were at the lowest, and it was the easiest to do a 5-lapper right away, rather than doing that in the middle or at the end, where the sun would have risen quite a lot and the temperature would have risen anyway. So we got that out really early. Plus also it was nice to drive a bit out of sync with most drivers, so we wouldn't be fighting them on track really and lose time. Milano is catching Ben, but not by that much. False rules and Flash are still the same gap. 12 seconds between them. Mr. Freezy potentially coming in this lap. If I see it correctly, it's 20% left of fuel. Could work out, but I think he should rather pit now or save a lot. Oh, we have a subscriber. Ulrich Schäfer, thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the emotes. And GT Icke followed. Honestly, I feel offended that Icke just now decided to follow. Yep, using that Binotto Clown emote perfectly. Let's go through the field. Paul halfway through the GP layout. Here we have Ben, now only 5 seconds ahead. It used to be 9 seconds, so some sort of mistake happened for Ben, and whoa! Yeah, again, drifting rather than cornering properly. So Milano closed the gap down thanks to that one mistake. 840, yeah, 840 is correct because it was the out lap. You can see the car in front. That's, I think, is quite motivating, seeing that you catch up, not only the numbers, but that you can see the car visibly in front of you, that you making up ground, and obviously you remember where you saw the car the last time round, and then you have quite some checkpoints in your mind. Where was I on the track? Where was the other car? And you can see I've come a bit closer here and there, and that's really motivating in my opinion. Coming up Bedo Chicane, 50 meters, left, right, bringing the car back on the right side of the track. Transition. Sabine Schmidt's Kurve. 3.5 seconds. Yeah, sorry, I can't activate any sound alerts. I'm streaming over console, not over PC. But if Flipsy is at the PC, he can sure refund you the money. The channel points. If I understood correctly, yeah, Leno. If I understand correctly, he's going to stream Stint 7 anyway, so he can activate it for you. Gap still decreasing, not by much. If you look at the tire situation, I think Ben is doing a great job. If that's correct, the personal best from 8:07.8, and I think that's a strong lap time, especially given that he is going for 5 lappers, so potentially having to save a bit more fuel, being a bit more conservative to the tires as the other guys, so come down even further, 1.5 seconds, miss. You can really see on the exit 2/10 up again in a drift. Benzars are gone and he's really fighting with the car. Comes somewhat naturally with the current situation for Milano, but now he has to find a way past him. Ex-Mühle. Bergberg. Corner's a little bit banked, so you can carry a bit more speed around it. It's a long, flat-out section here, but overtaking is risky. The track is quite narrow, and the next proper corner, Mutkurve, is a corner which allows only one car through at a time. There's nothing you can do. Milano very cautious here. He sees how much the car in front is struggling, and he knows that he will get the position anyway soon, so there's really little worth to risk for. Gap behind is stable, 13 seconds as well. Approaching go up. And then missed the corner. Now, oh, Yeah, that was coming. Has damage as well. Yeah, he missed the first part of the corner, had a bad line, and hit the curb. And yeah, obviously the curb is really high, plus being uphills lifted him up. No way to see the car in the air, and then the barrier wasn't too far off. I think Ben felt the pressure and allowed himself a mistake. It is unfortunate, yes. It happened on his in lap with half a lap or less than half a lap to go. So timing wise, it isn't even that much time loss. It's not that bad. Rules and Flash are closing in a bit, and now we go to this because Amne has Mr. Freezy really close to him. He has damage as well. He was in the pit for lap 12, so this happens really early again. And we have, I think, 8 laps to go. Or more like 7 maybe. So one 3-lapper and one 4-lapper. At worst, 2 4-lappers until the end should be the strategy they choose. So Mr. Freezy, oh sorry, it was too quick, it's just 1 to 1. Mr. Freezy should be on his outlap. Yeah, that's his outlap, fresh rubber, and he should be able to evaluate that correctly and don't put too much risk and get that position anyway. So Milano now back in second position, not challenged by Ben anymore. Force rules more than 10 seconds behind. Here we have Ben finally arriving in the pit lane. Flash. What was that lap time? 8:09. 14 seconds behind Force rules, so he lost a bit of time. Here we have Ben still in the pit lane. Yeah, and he will come out quite comfortably ahead of Amne and Freezy. And Freezy lost some ground, unfortunately for him. There could have been the overtake easily here on the back straight, but I do hope Amne is going to pit for him, otherwise he has to deal with him for another lap. So it is. The lap time is an 8:19, so it's quite slow, so Freezy has to find a way around that BMW. Strong efforts by Confi, who's only 16 seconds behind and has set a personal best. And there was an 8:09, so it's finally below the 8:10 mark. Well done. And some miracle happened. Nars isn't anymore in last position. That's Gas, who's 20 seconds behind him. How did that happen? So lap times are quite uneven. Lap 10 and 11 could be a pit lap, in and out lap. 13 was 9:09, so there was another in lap. We are currently on the out lap. He must have crossed the pit exit, so that's 3 seconds he's going to lose on the Döttinger Höhe, which is more like 5 or 6 seconds. And with the damage he has, he's going to have another pit stop at the end of the lap, so that puts him really, really far behind. That's almost a minute he's going to lose now. Hitting the line. He's 230, 240, 245. And he has to slow down all the way down to 90 and re-accelerate once more. So Narash will pit anyway. Fuel is empty. No more chance to go here. And Confi is in 8th position, not too far off. Freezy was still behind Amnail. Come on. Car in front has damage that should slow him down on the straight. McLaren is quick. 280 is looking on the inside line. There's a jump. Now he has to decelerate for the corner. That's not possible to go side by side there. And definitely not flat out from that angle. Oh, sorry. That was the correct camera I wanted. Yeah, needs to play it safe, never mind. Worked out well, and Amnail didn't fault it. That's also very important, I think, if you overtake or try to overtake someone on the Nordschleife and they're actively fighting that. Most likely one, if not two, will end up worse. So that was smart driving, giving up the position and not losing any more time. Confi, on the other hand, I think would have liked if they would have fought a bit more. He's 17 behind, he will close the gap for sure. Maybe even less than 10 seconds at the end of the lap, give or take how bad the damage plays out. Yeah, that was brave. Yep, that definitely could have ended up in a different way, and then you totally wrecked your car. Noticed the old Super is quite okay. Not sure how much balance or out of balance this car is, but 809 is okay. And I think Nuschel did quite good lap times in qualifying as well. So Freezy free track ahead of him. Replay. But more than 40 seconds to Ben. Ben did 15 laps, so there's 7 to go. 8 at worst, so I think it's 4 laps and then 3 or 4 laps depending how the timer ends for him. So he's finally now on shorter stints as well. Flipsy just posted the straw poll link where you can vote for delivery of the day. Given that, I think that's a good moment to look at every livery. We have Paul here for RC, Falcon livery, purple and black, classic. These are in their typical livery. Personally, I think that livery is quite beautiful. Heard otherwise, But good that we moved to that, because Milano has damage. Clips are shining, dark and heavy clouds coming. We'll see some rain. I would hope we see some rain, but right now I'm not too optimistic. Milano definitely will have to pit, and with 7 laps to go, that's really a moment where you do not want to pit. A lap earlier or later would have been better, because you could have done something different. Yeah, but with his fuel consumption, there's nothing really can do to go 6 laps, so I'm pretty sure he will we'll have to pit 18, 19 round about there. Force rules in the pit lane as well. For a scheduled pit stop, he underfueled a bit with planned 3-lapper. So Flash is now in 2nd position. Here we have Paul on a Nordschleife and Flash. First corners of the GP layout. Milano has the fuel done by now, but has to repair. Force rules still refueling, so no change in position for those two. And here we have Ben. Ben now jumped Milano and Force rules, and given the strategy, I think every one of them has one more pit stop. So Ben is legit in P3. Flash in 2nd position with 1 more stop to go. So does... wait, Flash can go 1 more lap. That's lap 17, and then it's 5 to the end. So yeah, Flash as well with only 1 more stop to go, and I think that's a legitimate 2nd position here. We have Amnail in the pit lane to repair the damages. And now rejoins. We have Gas in 9th position, so he moved up 1 position, still with damage because Narash was in the pits and he continued. Do I see that correctly? 8:13. That's getting better. 1.5 minutes is Paul ahead. Will pit this lap. I think that Flash can stay out for 1 more lap. Paul has done 16 laps and 23 laps are possible, so there would be 7 laps to go. So I think 3 and a 4 lapper is the only possible solution. I don't think it's going to be 6 laps, the pace it's too strong for that. So 6 laps you could say, or maybe medium tires and a bit of fuel saving to not stand for 40-50 seconds in the pit lane. But not like this. So we'll see him at the end of lap 16 and I guess at the end of lap 19 again. Yeah, nothing really to report here. P5 horse rules about 20 seconds to Milano in front and 20 to Freezy behind. Freezy in 6th position, very similar situation. Essentially the exact same situation, 20 ahead to Force Rules and 20 behind to Confi. Confi has to pit at the end of this lap as well. Has moved 1 position up. Thumbnail was in pit lane, the gap is 33 seconds. He's at Flugplatz, now Schwedenkreuz, approaching Arenberg. And then we have full 2 minutes and we are back on the GP layout until we are here with gas. Oh, I was touching the gravel there. That's potentially a penalty. He has his left indicator on, by the way. No penalty, so he got away with that. Oh, Noah still closing down the gap, but 8 seconds down the road. Those two are just off GP layout, and Paul is going on the Döttinger Höhe. Not much left in the fuel tank. Oh, using a bit of the dirt patch there. Tires are completely used as well. And now he's in. So I think we see 3 or 4 laps from him and then a short sprint to the end. Now he's in. Flips, yeah, I haven't had the chance to read Discord, so I don't know. Given the rule book, we end at 2 PM, so that should be a 2-hour stint. I don't see any reason why we should deviate from the rule book, so that will be a 2-hour stint. So Paul back on track. Here we have Flash, who is maybe staying out. He has 20 liters of fuel left. Would be greatly beneficial for his strategy to continue for 1 more lap, so we can do a 5-lapper to the end and not have to pit again. Yes, so it is. That's great news. He can continue and looks in great condition. No, looks definitely good for him. That's the way I want to say it. For P2 now. Bit out of nowhere was mostly P4 or 5, but managed his fuel better. Ben in 3rd position. Get to Milano 8 seconds, so Milano definitely has a huge task ahead. have quite a gap. Force rules and Freezy. Not a lot of movement in that part of the field. Quite static. Oh, Confi drifting out of the last corner into the pit lane. Having 35 seconds to Amnail. That should be enough for Amnail to get P7 back. Now he finally arrives. And with 5 laps to the end, he should have good chances to hold that 7th position, even though he's going to lose it. But Amnail has to pit one more time, so it doesn't hurt him too much that he's going to lose that position. That BMW is now ahead, breaking into turn 1, and here we have Confi still refueling. Lollipop Man changed the sign, and off he goes into lap 17. Milan is catching a bit. It's only a second, but maybe it's enough to start building some pressure. So, I had a quick breakfast break. That's all I get for 3 stints. And now we move on. Oh, go for it. Milano, since I was gone, has reduced to get 1 more second. So it used to be a bit more over 8, now it's just a bit slower, and that's within 1 lap. So Ben might have track position, but with Milano closing in, Mercedes definitely has a chance to take that 3rd position. Yeah, just a simple yogurt. Flash. Now on the way into the pit lane. And then 5 laps to go to the end. We have reached the 2 hour and 20 minute mark soon. And 5 laps are 40 to 41 minutes, so we will have 4 complete laps and maybe 3/4 of the 5th lap. Maybe he wants to underfuel the car a bit. Well, not underfuel, but take that in consideration. Hopefully he's smarter than I am, because I miscalculated by 15 seconds. So I was running on the Döttinger Höhe and running out of fuel, and then had to wait for 10 seconds without any forward momentum, just running on what I had. Yeah, that was stupid. I thought it would have worked out, but yeah, 10 seconds out, 10 seconds. Yeah, why are we 10 teams currently and not 12? Well, one team didn't even start. There was some technical issues. So we started with 11 teams anyway, and unfortunately we lost one team due to a disconnect in the stint, but they will be back for the final stint. So Flash in the pit lane for the final time. Here we have Ben. He's going for one more lap. Yeah, he's going to continue for one lap and then drive to the end. Flash on the other end will drive 5 laps and then will reach the end. Milano only 4 seconds, so 2 more seconds down. .805 personal best for him, and yeah, you already can see him. Force rules here. There was Flash. So Flash, unfortunately, by the tiniest margins, lost out and is now behind Force rules. Sorry, Aqueasy. I'm streaming over console. I cannot play any sounds right now. But I guess we can look into Twitch after the race and see who requested something and then refund that. It was, I think Ike was it, earlier this stint as well, that should be refunded as well. I think, yeah, that's something we can improve on, discuss that, who is continue to stream over which way, and if that's a console player, then the streamer before that can lock those commands, so you cannot even activate them because they can't be used by me. So in the end, when you get refunded, it equals out, but it shouldn't happen. Meantime, Freezy was in the pit lane, full tank, 100 liters in there, and yeah, going to the end. It's the final stretch here. About 40 minutes to go, but those guys are already thinking about coming home now. Where's Confi? 13.5 seconds behind. I do hope Confi's not thinking about coming home. He's thinking about getting that position. And then I moved to this battle because we maybe get some entertainment out of this. P9 and P10, gas and Nars. Less than a second. That was close to being disastrous. Nars got it a bit wrong. Used too much curb, and those curves are really high. But caught the car again. Drifted almost wide. Kleines Carousel is quite tricky. But now he should have the position, he's close enough. Down Galgenkopf. Gas. The weird run was completely on the inside all the time. Lost a lot of momentum. And now the position, but has the slipstream now and can fight back. Toyota moves to the outside, leaving the door open. But it's still increasing the gap, so that Corvette really not strong in high speed. Oh, it has now damage. Sorry, I missed that. That's the reason why it's so slow. I was wondering why doesn't the Corvette come back in slipstream and even lose time. That's why. Definitely now staying out. I think, yeah, 3/4 fuel left, so definitely 22 laps for them. It should come into a bit one more time, I think. Anyway, we will see. Lost the position gas, but still very close to the rear of the Toyota. And go through the field once more. This lap, Ben will come in, and he has Milano directly behind him, flashing the lights. Yep, that the stewards would like to see that. That's considered unsportsmanlike, and I'm not sure how intense that was, but we'll look into that. Before Brünchen, Ben got a bit wide, but got the car back on track safely. Ben, you have to pray that he comes into pit in one piece, because he's sliding everywhere. This is directly behind. Down, then up again. Stefan Belloff S. Yeah, for Schwalbenplatz, he doesn't take a look. Stays behind. Now, Kleines Karussell. And yeah, Ben with a mistake, not getting that corner correctly on entry, or maybe just riding with too much speed into the corner. Anyway, the banking couldn't hold the car, and he drifted out wide. No damage for him, just a little time loss. He will pit anyway. Yeah, but unfortunate for him that he lost that position. We will see Milano in the pit in the next lap. So I'm curious to see how this will look in 8 minutes time. Arix will have the better tires. That will be a huge undercut. On the other hand, Milano will have to refuel for 1 lap less than Ben did, so that's time gaining for Milano. Down the pit lane, and he will lose those 2 positions. Force rules and Flash still behind. Didn't found a way past, but he has to. That's crucial that he gets by and not lose any time. What was the lap time? 8 or 10? That's okay, but that could hurt him a few seconds. You will see the Mazda still refueling, and now finally he can go. And no more pit stops for Ben. Yep, drive to the end for him. Onboard time. So we're on the Nürburgring, approaching Nürburgring. Yeah, look at the clouds. Yeah, Flips has a point. It is cloudy, and I do hope everyone has their radar open, and please, everyone has intermediate and full wet tires. Yeah, this looks a bit damp. Let's see, 30 minutes to go. If it rains, you have to prepare in advance more than ever on this track, because if you got it wrong, you have to wait 8 minutes before you can correct your decision. So could be even the better strategy call to come in, go on intermediates or even full wet tires on a completely dry track. You can see on the radar that heavy rain is approaching. Let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't mind a bit of rain. I wouldn't know, Flipsy. I wouldn't know. Okay, a bit static here, unfortunately. Flash doesn't have the pace to come closer than he is right now. Gap a bit more than a second. Ben behind 22. And he should close that. Ben and Flash will go to the end. So that's gap for the position. Let's see, we have Milano in second position, will come at the end of this lap. And I think Paul will come in as well. I could do one more lap if he wants to. I think that's on his side. Fuel looking good enough, and then he would do 21. Yep, lap 21, 22, and he calculates for lap 23. So at the end of the field, Gas is still driving with damage. Has picked up a half-second time penalty. Naras has extended the gap to 1.5 seconds. What is going on? Did I just blink and dreamed something, or did Naras drove into the wall on the straight. Okay. So, invite everyone in chat, especially one special person, to convince me otherwise that it is worth my time. Yep, great job. Great job. Yeah, okay. I think that's a different discussion. It doesn't belong here. Well done. Sorry, I was gone for a bit. Now I'm back. Let's recap a bit, shall we? Paul is still leading. Gap is 1 minute and 12. It has come down somewhat because second position Flash has done 1 pit stop less. Milano in third position. Yeah, he also pitted and is going to the end. 16 seconds is the gap. It's not off the tables that he is going to catch Flash. Flash is on a 5-lapper. So 5 laps, sorry, before he went pitting. So it's a very long stint. You have to be a bit more cautious. With fuel, you have to be a bit more looking after your tires. So overall, you're a bit slower in general, but you can go a longer distance. Milano is on a 3-lapper, so you can be very aggressive with fuel. You can be very aggressive on tires and go all out. And those two different approaches should play into Milano's hands. But the gap of 16 seconds is quite long, so we have to wait and see how this develops. For the moment, it is somewhat static at 16 seconds. That can change, as we know. Ben, yeah, really entertaining to watch him. Thank you for just proving that with that slide. Not only for his driving or drifting through the corners here on the ring, but also with the different strategy approach. He was yeah, mostly looking P5, and this strategy has brought him up that one position at least, and 9 seconds or 25 seconds behind P2. It is really close between those. Could have played out even better. Unfortunately, I think P4 is everything that's possible for him. Force rules 13 seconds behind. Yeah, a similar story like Flash and Milano. Drive in front with the old tires has to be a bit more conservative. Whilst force rules can really push the car. Let's see how this develops. So I think we will have 2 close battles at the end. Freezy, yeah, Flipsy was pushing in forward. And I think the gap has come down. It used to be 45 seconds, it's now 30 seconds, so that's quite the achievement to bring that gap down that significantly. Unfortunately, no change in position for him. Confi 40 seconds behind is great. It used to be a minute to the second last car, and the start of the stint was horrible, really horrible for him. And he recovered great. 7th position doesn't seem to be that great, but given the start he had, it's a strong comeback. And P8 Amnael, yeah, I think he cannot be really happy with this stint. Plenty of times where he had damage and had to rearrange the strategy. In the end, it is P8, and the drivers in front are quite a bit ahead. Then we have Gus. Yep, a bit under my radar his race, where it did go exactly that wrong. Pace-wise, nothing too crazy, but never felt too bad either. Yeah, but unfortunately almost 7 or even over 7 minutes like here speaks volumes, and they can't be really happy how this stint turned out. If you see the corner left, sorry, the timer, 2 hours 46, you can see, yeah, a bit more than 13 minutes to go. That means 1 lap and the rest 5-ish minutes will be driven within that lap. And then the car that crosses the line first, that could be pretty much any car, maybe even the last position cars, as they are a bit out of nowhere, or in nowhere. And then the race, or the checkered flag is out, and the game has an in-game time of 180 seconds, 3 minutes. So when that timer runs out, everyone is counted as qualified, and that time is the gap. So it is unfortunately not possible to have any other way that the timer would go longer, so everyone has a chance to finish the lap. It is not possible for the game to not start a counter when someone crosses the line, but only the leader. So very unfortunately, that's the way the game is. We have to work in its limitations, so be prepared that the ending might look a bit obscure. Go one more time through the field. Flash is doing a great job holding the gap on 16 seconds. Okay, Flip's just right that Paul needs to beat the overall faster time, which is an 8:00.5. Looking at the... Yup, that's looking strong, 1.1 up. Coming back to that in a moment. So Flash and Milano gap stands 16 seconds. And here also 16 seconds. If I'm correct, that opened up a bit. It used to be, I think, 13. So looking good for the drivers in front in that case, Flash and Ben. Here we have Freezy, Confi holding that 7th position, Amnael. Yeah, the field is spread out, so no fights for position at the moment. Paul is a second up. So virtually we are with an 8 minute 1 second, maybe a high 0.x 7, 8, 9 to beat the overall lap record we have for this race. He needs to find a few tenths. 1.3, so we are virtually at a 8.0.7. using everything the road has to offer, plus the curb, plus a bit more through München. Very downhill, now uphill again. Be cautious of the rear tires, the traction isn't the best. Ice corner found again a little bit. I think we are on a 0.6 now. Pflanzgarten, the first jump. Pflanzgarten 2, smaller jump. Oh, he got it wrong there, but caught it. I think he stayed out flat. Didn't even lose, he gained time, that's ridiculous. 1.7 seconds almost. Yeah, what describes my feeling quite good. Schwalbenschwanz, kleines Karussell coming up. Hold it together, boy. Come on, Paul. Eigenkopf. Corner that's almost flat out. He does it flat, that car is ridiculous. 1.7, so we're speaking of a 8.0.3. If you can find something, maybe even 0.2. This is potentially the quickest lap you see today. 270 kph. 1.8, never say never, Wünsley. Last final corners, this is a magnificent lap. Can you hold together? What will the timer be? Accelerate out cleanly, shortest run through the line, and now, come on, come on! It is an 8, an 8.0.2 flat. Yeah, so I think we can close the game now. Yeah, I won't beat that in my lifetime. That was very impressive. That was very, very much impressive. And with less than 8 minutes on the clock, this is also the final lap. So even if he can go a little bit quicker, it won't be enough to see the checkered flag, I think. Or will it? 6 minutes? 3 minutes? No, it should be. It should be enough time. Not within the time limit, but after the timer starts ticking. So, and to show you how big the lead is, you saw all of the GP lap. It's 1 minute 11 into it. Yeah, he's losing a bit of time, unfortunately. But he's at the very end of the GP track. Here we have the Vedol chicane. Now he's on the Nordschleife, and here we have P2 in turn 1. And turn 3 just entering the Grand Prix loop. And here we have Q4 with Ben now being on the GP loop. If I look at the lap and how much time is left, that's the time I think my time would be enough. I would be pretty much around where Ben is now. So, best case scenario, that would be P2, more likely P4, 5, but still nevertheless a good position in that stint with what I've driven in stint 5, and that would be round about 2 minutes behind Paul, so that really shows Paul is doing an incredible job. Yeah, this time he's definitely a bit slower. 4 minutes left on the timer. The let's see, here we have Narash. Oh, it's close. 7:30, not a full lap, but almost. Gas in 9th position. Amnail. And I think it will be Gas will be over the line first. And then Cole will definitely hit the checkout. As he should be as the leader and race winner of the stint. Flash is bringing that second position home. Milano got some time back, but in the end, it's not enough. Anyway, 3rd place for him. I think he can be satisfied with that. Ben moving to the 4th position as well. I'm not sure how Ben feels. There were some small mistakes that cost him time. I think he had damage twice. Oh, come on, Ben, not now. Steering the car around. He has forced rules. Ben now facing the right way. Does it have to be that close? It used to be 13 seconds, now it's 4. Usually that should be in... Oh no, no, he's lost it completely and now he's in the barriers. Within the space of 2 kilometers. Ben threw it away. Oh come on, that can't be true. Okay, that I think answers the question I was asking. If you can be satisfied with that result. Yeah. Just got it wrong once and I assumed tires were still dirty and he didn't anticipate that much grip loss. And then he was in the wall before he could blink. Yeah, really a shame. He drove well and it could have been much better than at 5th or even 4th position. Yeah, but that's how it is. It's called Green Hell for a reason. Freezy will not be able to get that position off from Ben. The gap is simply too far. Confi. And everyone is on their final lap. We have Gas in 9th position, crossing the line first and starting the 180-second timer. Here comes Gas with a gap of 7 minutes 15, first of the line. And we have Nash 7 minutes 39. Over the line. Now we have Paul. On his last lap he's on a pace of 8 minutes or 4, if that's not 3. Well driven. Yep, congratulations to RC, and all that was flawless. You couldn't ask for more. Great job. Now we have to wait a bit before the rest of the fields comes over the line. I'm not sure who is going to cross the line. I think the timer was is going to 26, 3 minutes 26, something like that. So we will definitely see Fleisch now crossing the line. Behind Milano made up quite some ground, I do hope. Not for personal reason, obviously, that Flash has enough fuel. He's running with 270, so that pretty much looks like fuel mixture 1. One braking zone left. Gets that right. And that's P2 for the DLL Subaru team. Yep, and Gas already left the session. Someone couldn't wait. So 127 behind. Then we have Milano in 3rd position with the beautiful Mercedes RSR in 137 behind. Force Rules in 4th position will come home now quite comfortably. And I think you will also see the checkered. I'm not sure if Ben can do it. I don't think Friese can see the checkered. Narash? I don't know what's so interesting about that, but there you have it for a second. So that's the result. So save replay. And well, here we have the results. Doing quick screenshot for Nuschel and the gap table. Paul in 1st position and a brilliant 8-minute flat. Flash 2nd. Milano, Force Rules. Ben, Freezy, Confi, Amnail. Then we have Narash, Super GT. Unfortunately, he disconnected, and for some reason, Gas is listed as 11th. That's correct, but yeah, there you go. So I do hope you enjoyed the stream. We will have a break, roughly about half an hour, and then I assume continue with a 2-hour stint towards the end to finish this race. I'm not sure who's going to stream, but I would be glad if you jump in, say hello, stick around for a while, and enjoy it. So yeah, thank you very much for staying. We were most of the times 30 viewers and more. Some we reached 40 even for a moment, I think. So it was quite nice. Chat was active, so that's quite enjoyable for me as well. Hope you're having a nice day, and maybe I see some of you now on track as well. See you then. Bye.